get this piece of shit. Hey, neighbor, how you doing? Can you get that pump for me? Well, see, I need the goddamn pump right now.
I'm almost done.
Did you hear me?
Can I help y'all out here?
No. We don't need your help.
I wasn't done yet.
I think you are. Oh, shit. Good. You fucked up. Broker. How you doing, man? You in there? Can you hear me? You hear me? You hear me now? It's a very delicate operation. You like that, huh? Everybody had you figured for a cop, broker. You even smell like a fucking cop.
Can you hear me? Who's watching your fucking kid, huh?
Where's she home?
In the gripping opening scene of our narrative, we are introduced to a gang of bikers known as outcasts, who are making their way toward one of their clubhouses. Unbeknownst to them, they are being closely monitored by the DEA. As they enter the premises, which houses a methamphetamine laboratory, we meet their leader, Danny T. He confers with one of his trusted associates, Phil Broker, to strategize the transportation of their illicit drugs, involving Danny's son, Jojo, in their plans. However, the atmosphere shifts dramatically when the DEA launches a surprise raid on the club, swiftly moving in to apprehend the gang members. The DEA chief on site urgently seeks a status update on his undercover agent, revealed to be none other than Phil Broker. In a moment of realization, Danny understands that Phil has betrayed them and makes a desperate escape with Jojo. As chaos ensues, Phil manages to carry an injured agent outside, but just as he does, an explosion rocks the building. Danny and Jojo flee in a car, with Phil hot on their trail on his motorcycle. Their escape is cut short when they encounter a police roadblock, forcing them to turn back. In a tense standoff, they come face to face with Phil, who unexpectedly dismounts his bike and opens fire on their vehicle, causing it to explode. In the aftermath of the explosion, Phil approaches the wreckage to apprehend Danny.
You rat! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop it!
But tragically shoots Jojo in the leg, forcing him to drop his weapon. Other agents arrive on the scene and command Jojo to surrender. However, in a heartbreaking twist, he chooses to sacrifice himself. Phil is left devastated by the loss, but Danny's grief quickly turns to anger as he blames Phil for his son's death. Heartbroken and overwhelmed by guilt, Phil walks away from the scene. As the dust settles, we learn that after serving in various law enforcement roles and concluding his final case, Phil has decided to resign from the force. 2 years later, the scene shifts to a schoolyard where Maddie, the daughter of Phil, is playing by herself, embodying a quiet resilience. Her solitude is soon interrupted by Teddy Klum, a boy who begins to bully her.
Thanks. Cool hat. Give it back.
You scared? Come get it. Go on.
He asked you twice. Asked twice.
Phil has relocated to a small town in Louisiana, the hometown of Maddie's late mother, seeking a fresh start. While working on a woodworking project with his friend Tito, he receives an urgent call from Maddie's school. Without hesitation, he drives over to address the situation, only to find Teddy being treated by a nurse upon his arrival. In the principal's office, Teddy's parents demand justice for their son's injury.
Want this thing settled, and I mean now. I don't feel calm, so why the hell should I stay calm?
Wound up like this ain't helping.
Who's that?
That's right. I don't
Is that the father of that goddamn little girl? You the father?
But Phil is approached by a teacher named Susan Hatch, who offers her support. Teddy's mother, Cassie Bodine, attempts to confront Phil but is quickly restrained by the sheriff.
That's why you gotta watch those sneaky little bitches on the playground.
Hey,
What? You wanna say something? You wanna say something to me?
When Phil finally meets Maddie, she explains what happened and expresses her concern that he might blame himself for teaching her self-defense. A moment of connection forms between Phil and Susan as they share their grief over Maddie's mother's recent passing and reveal that they moved to Louisiana to nurture Maddie's passion for horse riding. As they step outside, Cassie sends her husband Jimmy to confront Phil in a misguided attempt to avenge Teddy.
This guy
Take her
here gets
home,
walking
Jimmy.
along.
Hey, broker! Hey, Jimmy! Broker!
I stand by the covenant.
Back in the truck, please.
Stand by the
Don't
covenant.
take any shit, Jimmy.
Jimmy!
You owe my son a goddamn apology.
Take it easy.
Some sneaky little bitch cheap shots my son.
Please, don't call it that.
Get him, Jimmy. Get him, Jimmy.
hey,
Get in there.
Hey, hey!
Arrest him.
Get over here! Back over what?
God damn it, what are you doing? You gonna let him get away with that? Huh?
It's okay.
The sheriff intervenes to break up the scuffle and reassures Phil that he won't face any repercussions, confirming that it was self-defense. Curiosity piqued, the sheriff inquired about how Phil managed to subdue Jimmy, but Phil deflects the question, assuring him that there won't be any further trouble. He then rejoins Maddie, who reveals that the teachers witnessed the entire incident. Meanwhile, Cassie storms away with a furious expression, berating Jimmy as they leave. Despite his attempts to defend himself by claiming he lost his footing, Cassie continues her tirade of insults. She threatens to escalate the matter by involving her brother against Phil, while Jimmy cautions her to keep the family dispute contained within their own ranks. We are introduced to a group of gangsters, casually playing music and smoking, when they are abruptly interrupted by a menacing figure named Gator. He commands them to silence the music and dismiss a 17-year-old girl from their presence. In a display of brute force, he strikes one of the gangsters and issues a stern warning against cooking meth, despite their insistence that it's solely for personal use. Gator ruthlessly forces them to vacate the premises, threatening to burn them alive if he ever catches them there again. Back at home, Phil expresses admiration for Maddie's fighting skills, telling her how proud he is that she stood up for herself. Maddie playfully inquires if he's scared and teases him about his feelings for Susan, her school teacher. Meanwhile, Gator is revealed to be Cassie's brother, and upon returning home, she asks him to intimidate Phil and Maddie. Cassie, struggling with addiction, also requests drugs from him. The next day, Phil spends quality time with Maddie riding horses before heading to her school. There, he seeks Susan's assistance in planning Maddie's upcoming 10th birthday party. Susan also suggests that Phil should apologize to Teddy's parents to help mend the rift caused by the earlier altercation. Phil drives to Jimmy's workplace to extend his apologies. When Jimmy insists that Phil should also apologize to Teddy and Cassie, Phil agrees, leaving on amicable terms. However, on his way back, he stops at a gas station to refuel his car. Shortly after, Gator's men arrive and begin to harass him, demanding he relinquish the pump before he finishes filling up.
Go ahead and pump it your own self. Goddamn mama's freezer.
Look at this. Still ain't got this piece of shit. Hey neighbor, how you doing? Can you get that pump for me? See, I need the goddamn pump right now.
I'm almost done.
You hear me?
Can I help y'all out here?
No. We don't need your help.
I wasn't done yet.
I think you are.
Oh, shit.
Good. You fucked up.
After the fight, he confronts the gang leader, demanding to know who sent them. The leader defiantly claims no one did, leaving Phil with an unsettling sense of foreboding as they retreat. While at his meth laboratory, Gator receives disheartening news about his defeated men. Meanwhile, Maddie notices Phil's injured hand and inquires about it. He fabricated a story, claiming he was working on something and got hurt. Shortly after, the sheriff signals for him to stop and request a moment to talk. The sheriff informs Phil about an incident at a gas station, clarifying that no one is pressing charges. He then asks if Phil is ex-military, but Phil remains tight-lipped about his past. The sheriff warns him that he's keeping a close watch on him. As Gator arrives at Phil's house, Phil and Maddie are preparing to leave for a horse ride. Unbeknownst to them, Gator stealthily punctures the tire of Phil's car after noticing their departure. He then enters the house. Meanwhile, Phil and Maddie share a poignant moment by the water, reminiscing about Maddie's mother. Maddie expresses her emotional struggle and how much she misses her mom, prompting Phil to offer her comfort. Inside the house, Gator picks up one of Maddie's bunny dolls just as Phil and Maddie return. He then heads to the store where Phil keeps files related to his past life. As he sifts through the documents, he discovers Phil's history with various law enforcement agencies but is soon alerted by their approaching footsteps. In a panic, he takes one of the files with him and hides, crossing paths with Maddie's cat in the process. Later that night, while working on his woodcraft, Maddie approaches Phil and asks if he has seen her cat or bunny doll. Phil reassures her that he will help her search for them. Gator continues to delve into the files detailing Phil's past connections with the Outcasts and an undercover mission tied to JoJo's death. Phil inspects his damaged tire and moves forward in search of the cat. He stumbles upon the sight of Maddie's bunny doll, cut and tied to a tree, sending a chill down his spine at a certain club. Marie receives a call from Gator, who invites her to a meeting, and she agrees to meet him in the morning. As dawn breaks, Marie, Gator's girlfriend and a former member of the Outcasts gang, arrives. Gator informs her that Phil is the one responsible for JoJo's death, and he also reveals Phil's hidden past. Meanwhile, Phil confronts Jimmy, warning him to stay away from his home, suspecting him of causing the recent damages. Gator schemes to hand over Phil to Danny in exchange for the right to distribute his drugs within Danny's territory. Marie cautions Gator that the Outcasts are untrustworthy, but he insists she meet with Danny's lawyer to finalize the deal. In a gesture of love, Phil gifts Maddie a new doll to replace the one that was damaged, and they plan an exciting birthday party, inviting her entire class. Meanwhile, Marie meets with Danny's lawyer and shares the file detailing Phil's troubled past. The lawyer takes this information to Danny, who, upon reviewing it, instructs his lawyer to do whatever is necessary to bring Phil down. At the same time, Phil and Maddie meet Teddy and his mother, Cassie. In a moment of reconciliation, Maddie invites Teddy to her birthday celebration. Later, while working with Tito, Phil learns that rumors about his altercation with Jimmy have spread. He mentions that someone broke into his house, but Tito dismisses Jimmy as a suspect and suggests Cassie might be involved. Tito warns Phil about Gator, who poses as a boat mechanic while secretly cooking meth. It becomes clear that the sheriff is aware of Gator's activities but has been compromised by him. Tito advises Phil on where to find Gator but urges caution in pursuing him. As Maddie's birthday party unfolds, the atmosphere is vibrant and joyful with many guests in attendance. However, lurking in the background, the Outcasts are on their way to talk to Marie, hinting at brewing tensions that could disrupt the celebration. Cyrus arrives as the gang leader and, upon encountering Marie, inquires about Phil's whereabouts, revealing that they have been searching for him for quite some time. Marie relays Gator's demands to him, but Cyrus remains unyielding, forcefully insisting that she disclose Phil's location. After the birthday party concludes, Maddie feels a sense of joy as she sees her dad engaged in conversation with her teacher, Susan. Later that night, Gator pays a visit to Cassie, warning her to keep her distance from Phil. However, Cassie asks him for drugs, which Gator firmly declines. Their conversation escalates into a heated argument as he admonishes her to clean up her act and abandon drugs, all while Teddy listens in. Meanwhile, Phil reaches out to his former DEA boss, seeking information on Gator. He learns about Marie's past connection with Danny and requests a photograph of her. Following this lead, Phil heads to the cafe where Tito directed him to find Gator. Upon entering, Tito points out Gator at a table. As Phil approaches, Gator accuses him of being responsible for hitting Jimmy and for Maddie's altercation with Teddy. Phil warns him to refrain from discussing anything he knows about him. He confronts Gator about the cowardice of invading his home, punctuating his words for slashing his car tires and destroying Maddie's beloved doll. Phil issues a chilling warning: the next person who trespasses on his property will not leave alive. Gator, however, denies all allegations. After leaving the cafe, Phil receives Marie's photograph and realizes she is the woman involved with Gator. Determined to confront the situation head-on, He makes his way to Gator's workplace, a facade of a boat mechanic shop, and begins to investigate the premises. Drawing on his experience as a former DEA agent, he uncovers various items indicative of meth production, along with processed drugs. In a calculated move, Phil rigs an explosive trap designed to detonate when the lights are activated. As he prepares to leave, he spots Maddie's cat and instinctively reaches for it. However, one of Gator's men suddenly holds him at gunpoint.
Put the kitty down.
Phil subdues the assailant but loses sight of the cat as it scampers away. In his pursuit of the feline, he unexpectedly runs into the man he had encountered earlier at the gas station, leading to an unforeseen confrontation. They begin to torment him, inflicting pain and humiliation as a twisted form of revenge for past events.
Broker. How you doing, man? You in there? Can you hear me? You hear me? You hear me now? It's a very delicate operation. I like that, huh? Everybody had you figured for a cop, broker. You even smell like a fucking cop.
Can you hear me? Who's watching your fucking kid, huh?
With cruel taunts, they mention his daughter, threatening to hunt her down now that she is unprotected. Consumed by rage, Phil fights back against the goons, desperately working to free himself from his restraints.
Who's watching your fucking kid, huh?
Where's she home?
Bringing the violent confrontation to an end. He escapes with the cat in tow, even as the bikers close in. Meanwhile, Maddie is disheartened upon learning about their impending relocation. At the same time, Cyrus and his gang arrive at Gator's hideout, demanding information on Phil's whereabouts, which Gator reluctantly agrees to provide. Although he feels a sense of dread due to Marie's involvement with the bikers, he decides to give them directions while insisting he won't accompany them to avoid drawing attention. Cyrus, however, insists that Marie must come along. As they set out toward the waters to reach Phil's home, Tito arrives to assist Phil with the horses. Unbeknownst to them, the gangsters are encroaching on Phil's property. While Tito tends to the horses, he hears unusual noises and moves cautiously towards the source. When a gang member investigates the stable, Tito seizes the opportunity to strike, leading to a fierce struggle. Despite being knocked down, Tito retaliates fiercely, using a garden fork to stab his assailant as he reaches for his weapon. Meanwhile, Phil is busy packing when he senses danger as the gangsters approach his home. Tito's urgent hoots attempt to warn him, but in the chaos, Tito is shot in the hand. Hearing the gunfire, Phil immediately calls for Maddie and rushes her downstairs, instructing her to find a safe hiding spot until he returns. Armed and resolute, Phil prepares himself for the imminent confrontation with the gangsters who are hunting for them both. Two men approach the main entrance, but as they swing the door open, Phil swiftly shoots one of them down, igniting a chaotic brawl inside the house. Maddie, caught in the turmoil, realizes the danger and makes a desperate dash toward the woods to escape. Meanwhile, Marie contacts Gator to inform him that the situation has spiraled out of control, while Phil remains locked in combat with the gangsters. One of the goons spots Maddie fleeing into the woods, but before he can take aim, Phil intervenes, shooting him first and saving her from harm. As tensions rise, Cyrus confronts Phil.
Maddie, run! Run!
And he's hurting my dad.
Listen, these guys, they don't give a shit. You gotta come with me, okay? You have to come with me. Come on.
I don't no. Dad!
However, in a shocking turn of events, Maddie is kidnapped by Marie, leaving Phil helplessly watching her departure. The police arrive at the scene, and Phil reports everything to the sheriff. Amidst the chaos, he notices Tito, who is injured, and calls for paramedics. Suddenly, Phil receives a call from Maddie, who describes Marie to him, prompting the police to suggest tracking her phone. Shortly after, Marie and Maddie reach Gator's hideout. During a phone call with Phil, Maddie describes the location, and he recognizes it immediately, setting off to rescue her. When Gator arrives and learns that Maddie is with Marie, his anger boils over. He accuses her of bringing a witness to his hideout and prepares to execute her. Just then, Cassie and Jimmy arrive, inquiring about the recent shootings. Cassie reveals that Maddie has been reported missing and questions Gator's involvement, but he vehemently denies knowing anything about her. As Marie attempts to take Maddie outside, Cassie hears her voice and goes to investigate. When she turns on the lights, she inadvertently triggers one of Phil's traps, causing an explosion that devastates Gator's laboratory. In the ensuing chaos, Gator becomes enraged and goes after Maddie for revenge. In a brutal confrontation, he shoots Cassie in the stomach before fleeing with Maddie. Phil arrives just in time to pursue Gator on the highway. The chase is intense as Phil exhausts every effort to save his daughter, but Gator's reckless driving keeps him ahead. The police set up roadblocks in an attempt to stop Gator, yet he managed to escape onto a bridge. As Phil tries to follow, his car crashes and flips over. Gator finally stops his vehicle and steps out to finish Phil off, but the sheriff orders his men not to shoot due to Maddie's presence on the bridge. In a moment of bravery, Maddie distracts Gator by calling out for her father.
Don't hurt him! Dad!
Get back in the car right now!
Please just stop!
Get the fuck in the car! I want you to see this! Get in the fucking car!
Do that,
Get in
please.
the fucking car!
Get in the car before I pull your fuck!
He warns her to return to the car, but Phil seizes this opportunity to emerge from his wrecked car and launch a brutal attack on Gator. He strikes him repeatedly before holding a gun to his head. In a moment of clarity, Phil looks at Maddie and decides against killing Gator. Instead, he acknowledges that it was Maddie who saved him and chose to spare Gator's life so he can embrace his daughter once more. As paramedics tend to Cassie's injuries, Phil and Maddie leave the scene together. Later, Phil visits Danny in prison to deliver a stern warning. He will be waiting for him when he gets out. This chilling promise brings the story to a close. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a wonderful day.